Thank you very much, Rakesh. What an inspiring speech to begin today with. And now, we are really pleased to hear from someone that without him, this event would never be as good as we hope it is today. And when we're talking about CSOs and open government partnership, I believe everyone in here have already known that OGP has an independent civil society coordinator. We have learned so much from his assistance of this person and his extensive knowledge about this region. And I would like to invite the independent CSO coordinator, Mr. Paul Maassen.
Rakesh was just asking how much I paid to be called independent civil society coordinator. It wasn't very much. Selamat pagi, kawan-kawan. In the early months of 1998, I was a student here in Indonesia. I was living in Bandung. And it was also the one and only revolution I witnessed in person. What started as a really small student protest over a couple of weeks turned into a nationwide protest against corruption, collusion, and nepotism. Toppling a president, which is a big thing to do, and starting a process of reformation. And it's a process we've seen since in countries like the Ukraine, Tunisia, and Georgia. If you watched the international media, it looked like Jakarta was on fire and the country was at the brink of civil war. But if you were walking the streets of Bandung, basically what you saw was a celebration of citizenship. You saw a cheerful mood. You saw people actively, openly discussing how they wanted to change their country and what it should look like. If you walked out into the morning to work, you would pass street vendors every day with new editions of newspapers and magazines, full of information about corruption, company ownership, and the link between government and private sector. The media immediately took the space, the chaos that was out there, and did its job. The rest is history, as they say. Indonesia passed a number of laws that created more civic space, the big concept that Pakaturo was talking about. Creating more space for civil society, for access to information, for media freedom. Of course, in 2014, a lot of the powerful names you read about in the newspaper are the same as that were there in 1998. But Indonesia definitely is a different country. There is now an anti-corruption committee, which is effectively prosecuting some of those powerful names. There is a vibrant civil society. Things have changed and moved on in Indonesia. And it all started with students thinking, this is not the society we want something different. Today, tomorrow, the days after, we're here to talk about the Open Government Partnership. And some of you in this room are actually already a member of the partnership. And for you, this is an opportunity to learn and to connect and to see from other countries how they are experiencing OGP. But many of you are not yet a member. So, how can this be useful and interesting for you? Well, you can talk to your colleagues from Pakistan, for example, that have been campaigning for a year to get their government to join the Open Government Partnership. Or you can talk to your colleagues from Myanmar, who are working with the government to actually make them eligible in 2016 to join OGP. To me, it's very clear why OGP needs civil society. And admittedly, I am biased as civil society coordinator. But without the energy and the intellect and the attitude of civil society to be supported in this process and be annoying at the same time, OGP wouldn't work. But why would you need OGP? I suggest you talk to your colleagues from Mongolia and the Philippines and Indonesia the coming days. And they will tell you it's hard, and they will tell you they didn't get everything they wanted. But hopefully they will also tell you that it will give you a guaranteed seat at the table. It's up to you to make sure it's a good seat. They will tell you that it's an opportunity to get commitments planned and delivered. And they will tell you that it will not just be empty words, because there is a mechanism to actually test that these commitments will be delivered. If you look at what OGP has achieved the last 2.5 years, You can now say that Tunisia and Sierra Leone and Brazil have access to information laws. And Peru and Hungary have improved their public procurement policies. And you can say that Colombia and the US and the Ukraine have joined the Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative. 43 action plans in OGP worldwide have been assessed. And what you see is that out of these almost 1,000 concrete commitments, 29% of them have been delivered in time. And 24% of them have been labeled as potentially transformative, which means these are not just vague little projects and promises. These are real commitments.